What's up, YouTube? I figure I'd make a quick video update and let you guys know what's going on. For those that have been following, sorry for the lack of updates. I just kind of just come in here, do my own thing when I think it's worth updating. When there's significant progress, I figure I'll throw that up there. So, without further ado, here's the stuff I've been doing since I pulled the motor. So, here's the good old VQ35DE. It is fully built. It has bicycle pistons, 8.8 to 1 compression. They are oversized because there was some scoring in cylinder walls on the block. So I'm glad I went oversized regardless. So that fixed that problem, and we got good pistons at the same time. Those pistons are held together to the crank with manly rods, and the head we threw in some BC 264 cams, along with the BC springs and retainers. The whole rotating assembly was balanced. Everything's good to go for that. We're probably gonna spin it to like 70, probably like 7,200. Leave it at that. I believe that's where the power's gonna start falling off with this build, and just overall the VQs. Unless you got some really good porting work and all that stuff done, I'm sure you can spin it faster, but I don't. So I'm just gonna leave it alone as is at 7,200. But as you can see, looks fairly clean. Local machine shop in New York did the job here. They did a great job. I actually had a friend that works at that shop come on out and build this motor for me. I didn't want to risk, having it done, missing something, or just screwing up and having a bunch of money go down the drain. So I decided to trust his expertise. He has built over 1,000 motors, so you can trust him. But this is what we are working with. What can we start with? I guess we'll work our way from the top down. This is the Cosworth intake manifold I picked up a while back. It's got the carbon fiber caps. I'm gonna plan on running more than 12 pounds of boost, and they say for this particular setup, you're gonna have to actually take this whole thing off and put new seals on and RTV it at the same time if you plan on running more than 12 pounds of boost. That's what Cosworth recommends doing. So I still got to take that apart and do it. Working our way down, we got the mid-zone Amazon special valve covers. Let me show you something cool about that. Here, I'm going to put the phone down. Oh, my light's on the camera. Let me turn that off. We don't need that. There we go. Okay. So with these, there were plastic breather holes that were basically attached over here. I'll show you guys what they look like if I have them. They look something like this. Okay, super chintzy. I don't like them, so we decided to swap them out for basically right now what I did is I removed them, drilled a hole here. I believe it was 7/16, and then I tapped the hole for a 1/4 inch NPT fitting. So what I ordered were fittings that basically did like a very smooth 90, not like a like a perfect 90-degree angle where it was like jagged at the edge. This one's got like a really smooth bend. Reason that I did that is because the Cosworth intake manifold is so close to the port here. I didn't want to risk having that fitting interfere. But basically, this fitting and this fitting is basically a 1/4 inch to a 8-8 AN Army Navy fitting, and that's gonna go to a catch can. This one I'm probably gonna drill out and use 10 AN hose, and same thing for the back here. I'm just gonna attach a hose here, just put a clamp on, but run a fitting to the catch can, 10 AN as well. So 8 AN, 8 AN, and then 10 and 10. So let's work our way down. Oh no, wait, actually we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. So these mid-zone valve covers, yeah, let's take this one off. I think this one was easier. I don't have them screwed down yet because I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to adjust those. I would have to tap those holes further, so I left them off. But here's the cool thing about these things. As you can see, the baffle is removable, and yes, those seals pop right out, meaning no longer spending $400 on, you know, legit OEM Nissan crap valve covers that are going to leak anyways, especially if you boost your car. So that's pretty much covers the valve covers. Let's work our way down. So Treadstone Performance exhaust manifolds. They decided to make stainless steel cast replacements for the Greddy Twin Turbo kit. As everybody knows, those manifolds are bound to crack over time with heat and age. So, yeah, Treadstone coming through. It's a pretty cool manifold. They did a good job. I think it's a little cleaner than, I mean, obviously it's clean, but you know what I mean. Just the overall design, it seems like they did a little better job than Greddy did. I wish I had the manifolds. I have them up top in storage, but, you know, can't really show you to compare, but they're pretty damn good looking manifolds. And as you can see, I did the Pathfinder mod. So I got normally DEs. This is just plugged up, that hole right there between the cylinder banks. This basically connects the cylinder banks together in the back as well, so you get more cooling for the rear cylinders, which is great, especially on a boosted car. And I forgot to mention, but I also did the HR head gasket mod on this block. Basically what you do is mill down about 12 millimeters on one of the water jackets inside up, I think it's like up front of the motor here, basically like right over there where the coolant flows through. You basically just get it down about 12 mil, and it forces more coolant around the exhaust ports. Jim Wolf Technologies basically kind of led the way for that, but you want to follow what they're doing. They're partners with Nismo, so you can't really go wrong with their advice. The turbos I sent out to Turbo Bay. They got upgraded to 20G. Instead of a 6-blade compressor, I got instead of 6, I got a 7-blade compressor now. The rear he left alone, but everything's coated, looking nice. Each one of these turbos is good for about 400 horsepower, he said. So I'm shooting for 600, so we won't be overworking them. I think it's going to be a perfect balance and efficiency as far as that's concerned. But moving our way down, as you can see, we got the Z1 polyurethane mounts. Those are adjustable. I haven't looked how to do it yet, but I'm guessing it has something to do with the grub screws here. I guess you can lower and raise your the elevation of your motor inside the engine bay with those, so that's pretty cool. I also did, here, let's peek under there real quick. Z1. Oh no, you can't really see it. Oh, no, yeah, there, right there, kind of. Z1 polyurethane engine mount, or I'm sorry, transmission mount. So you basically, when you're doing one, you want to do the other. You don't want any flex anywhere else. You want to kind of, if you're reinforcing one area, you kind of want to do it in another as well. That's at least what I've read. So yeah, I didn't want to keep the old crappy ones that came with the car, 100 whatever thousand miles on it. Replacements were quite expensive for OEM standards, at least, and these fit the bill. So moving our way down here, this is a, believe it or not, a knockoff of the Greddy thermostatic oil filter slash oil cooler adapter thingy. As you can see, I got the 2 ports I'm going to be using. One of them is going to go to this turbo here, and another one I'm going to put a 180 here, just like I did on the single turbo. Put a 180 here, and then use the spare holes on the front of the lower or upper oil pan, and secure the line, and go around here. I don't think I'm gonna throw the AC back on, and then I'm just gonna run it up there. Oh, speaking of which, I ordered some fittings. Here they are. There's one, and you can kind of see it from this angle. Basically, there's the kind of a fitting that replaces the banjo bolt. It's similar designed. It threads in just the same exact way. The hole is the same exact diameter as the stock banjo bolt for this particular turbo, but I ended up getting a fitting that basically converts that thread and then goes into a 4AN, and this is restricted, so it doesn't really matter. I was thinking about running 3AN, but 4AN is what we're gonna run, and it should be okay. Should not over oil it. If anything, I mean, we can swap them out. Shouldn't be that big of a problem. But these are the fittings. Yeah, the other fitting is basically, I think, a 120 degree. I know it doesn't make sense because it's the other way. You would think it would be obtuse angle, but it's actually acute. But yeah, the goal here was basically just to point the line kind of up, but away from the turbo, and also point it down. I don't know, I guess that's just my OCD, but at the same time I think that would kind of help the feed line not get cooked, and I'm glad Treadstone left a lot of room under there. I think that's how the stock kit was too, but excuse me. But yeah, it should be fine. The only thing I'm concerned about is right here. I'm not sure if the coupler for the air filter tube is going to interfere with this. Not sure. It really is. It looks like it is. This one, not so much. Should be all right. But this one is bothering me. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we cross that road. Other things that I did, plugged up the stock oil cooler feed, which is not needed, obviously, because I'm running that. And I also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. I plugged off the hole for the throttle body. Return, I believe, right? Is that return or feed? It doesn't matter. It's the fitting for the throttle body. It's not needed. It's a summer car, so it's never going to see winter. Not needed. And what else can we go over? Oh, the powder coating stuff. So, as you guys can see, I got a nice little setup here. Glass is frosted over because I'm a dummy and I didn't use any protectant on the glass, but whatever. It did the job. Here are some of the things I did. Basically, this guy, these two, whatever you see up here, this guy, and then there's a bunch of stuff. Where is it? And right here. There's a bunch of brackets I did. New starter, new alternator. And then all the wiring harness brackets got powder coated as well because they were rusted. So took care of those. Should be good for years to come. And speaking of the alternator and the starter, more alternator. Well, power steering for in this case. But you know how most people delete the pulley here that sits here? It's not needed. Most, well, not most, all later year Z's deleted that pulley. So obviously I need a spacer. I'm not spending $80 on that kit from Z1. That's ridiculous. I am just going, well, I already did. My pops, who's a manual machinist, decided to cut the ear off, basically, off that right here. Cut this ear, and then he's going to turn it on a lathe and make a nice little washer. So, I'm not spending $80, guys. That's ridiculous. I just can't believe that they're even charging that. But that's as far as we got. And next up is basically I got to do the oil lines, come up with what angle fittings. I think I'm going to do a 120 over here too, or a 90, depending how the alternator and everything sits in here. That's my main concern, is this space here and then this space here once the starter goes on. Obviously I can mock up the starter just like that over there. It's no big deal, so we'll be all right. We'll be able to get the lines ran, no problem. But chugging along, guys, chugging along. I'm leaving for Europe on July 31st, but the goal for me is to get this bad boy into this and, you know, at least get it in there before I leave. That way I can focus on the rest when I get back. But progress, boys and girls.